Hi students, this is Siddharth. So welcome to Daily Nuggets 2, passage number 2 of Daily Nuggets. And this time I have picked a passage from International Field, Politics and Society. I will be doing the same thing. I will be breaking down the passage into its component and helping you to understand what are the key areas that you should focus upon when you read a passage. So first and foremost, let me quickly tell you the answers. You must have already taken the test, and let us quickly look at the questions and the answer. The first question was based on inference, which of the following cannot be inferred from the passage. The second is we don't abandon our own. This is it is given at a particular place in the passage. So the second question is on that. The third is which of the following correctly represent author's view on the use of letter Z as a nationalist symbol. Fourth, as per the author, which of the following could be the possible reason for Russia choosing letter Z as a symbol? And fifth, which of the following is an assumption? So it's based on assumption and assumption in the arguments of the last paragraph. So that's the 5 questions. This was the passage, and if you want, you can quickly stop the video and read it. Now, once again, what I have done is, as I have said in my previous video also, I will be doing 2 things, breaking it into the components so that I can understand what is the organization of the passage and trying to find out the main idea of the author. So main idea has 2 parts, content and judgment. Let us very quickly see. When I start reading, I start looking for author's opinion. That is my first agenda, to look at the statement which tells me which gives me the author's opinion on the topic. So that's how I started reading this. The Z first drew attention several weeks ago when it was painted on couple feet high on the side of military vehicles mustering along Russian border with Ukraine. In Russia, the letter then began to pop up all over the place. Is it a statement which has author's opinion? It's a factual statement. So this definitely is not author's opinion. It is giving me the context, and the context is the letter then began to pop up all over the place. And these lines, there are Z stickers on the back of the cars, and some corporate logos and newspaper names that contain Z. A Z manipulated the letter to highlight, and then there was advertising campaign. So it basically tells me that the letter then began to pop up all over the place. These 3-4 lines are examples of that letters were everywhere. But till this point, there is no such thing as author's opinion. And here it comes. It is not uncommon for vehicles dedicated to military campaign to display a readily identifiable mark. So this is author's opinion, that it is not uncommon for vehicles dedicated to military campaign to display a mark. And here author has given one example. For example, US Army did this. To see it spread among civilians is another matter. So this is author's opinion. So entire thing he has written, the first paragraph he has written to write the last 2 lines, that everywhere letters had popped up, and it is not uncommon for a military vehicle to do so, but among the civilians, this is another matter. Now let us look at the other things. The second paragraph, the campaign's ubiquity led many to conclude. Now in this particular passage, if you see, there are beliefs of other people also, which I am calling as common belief or stakeholder belief. A stakeholder means people who are mentioned in the passage, right? So these are the views of common belief. The campaign's ubiquity led many to conclude that it was all right, whatever the view was. Here is another example. Critics did not miss the opportunity to point out. So this is the view of critic. This is the view of many people. Now understand that an option can be framed saying that these are author's view. That will never be the answer. So a question can come that which of the following is author's view, and these particular lines can be given as one of the options. This will never be the answer because this is not author's view. This is view of many people. This is view of critics. So understand that thing. That is why we need to identify whose view is this. All right. Now in the last paragraph again, author has given his view. The first line, oddly for a nationalist symbol, the Z being used is a version from the Latin alphabet. And then he has told that why he thinks so. Then there are the view of stakeholders, that what is the purpose of letter Z, what is its meaning. After weeks of speculation about what it meant, All right. So there was speculation about what is the meaning of letter Z. And then the Russian defense minister said something, then Bulgarian people said something, then Russian counterpart said something. So these are all stakeholders. These are not author's view. So a question can come from this area also. Now, let us look at the organization. A context was given. Then there are author's opinion, and to support author's opinion on something, author has cited common beliefs, stakeholder beliefs, author has given some facts. This is what forms the gist of the passage in terms of organization. Now the main idea, the content of the passage is use of letter Z by Russia. That's the content. And what are author's view about it? Author says that it is not uncommon for military people to use it, but for civilians to use such symbols is another matter, means it is not common. And then author has questioned that why have they chosen Z as a nationalist symbol? It looks a bit odd. Author has not given any opinion about the meaning. Please remember, author has not given any opinion, the meaning, the opinion of the other people. So that is what the main idea is about. Let us look at the question. Which of the following cannot be inferred from the passage? Corporate and newspaper often manipulate things for their advantage. All right. Now there was something mentioned about corporate and newspaper. Let us see. Some corporate logos and newspaper names that contained a Z manipulated the letter to highlight it. All right. So option says that corporate and newspaper often manipulate things for their advantage. So what I have done is I have picked up the words corporate and newspaper. I have picked up the word manipulate. But the extra thing here is they are using it for their advantage. From the passage, I can't say for sure, although it looks like that whenever the word corporate comes, it looks like they're doing it for their advantage. So can't say right now. Let us look at the other options and then decide upon whether A is the answer or not. Russia is not the first country to use an identifiable mark during the period of war. This is clearly given. This is clearly given. So this can definitely be inferred. It's given, US is given as one of the example. So this can be said that definitely said that Russia is not the first country. At least there is one more country which has done that. So this is given in the passage. Civilians associating themselves with an identifiable mark during the period of war is uncommon. This is the author's opinion. Last line says it. To see it spread among civilians is another matter. So this is also given. In the past, Hitler resorted to ways so to mobilize supporters. This is given here. So again, this is also given. So out of all this, A is the option which cannot be inferred. There is part in it which cannot be inferred, that they are doing it for their advantage. And another thing is often. We can't say that they do it often. So because of these two reasons, A looks the best choice. Second, we don't abandon our own. The most likely set of people to whom our own is referring to is. We need to go to the area and read it properly. Let us see. The campaign's ubiquity led many to conclude that it was an orchestrated Kremlin effort to drum up support for the war. It came with a hashtag with echoes of past wars. We don't abandon our own. All right. So who is using this? This is being used by people from Kremlin. That is, of course, Russia. It was orchestrated Kremlin effort to drum up support for the war. So Russia is trying to drum up the support for the war and saying that we don't abandon our own. So who could be our own here? We are not living our own. So Russia, when Russia is talking, they must be talking about their own people. Is it Russian soldiers? Is it Russian government? Ukraine soldiers, Ukrainian civilians, if you have read the three lines, this can easily be ruled out that it won't be about Ukrainian soldiers or Ukrainian civilians. Now it is between Russian soldiers and Russian government, because it is about Russian. The campaign is used by Russia, so it has to be about our own, should be about Russian. Now understand, in the war, for whom the support will be garnered, will it be soldier or government? It is always the soldiers, and that is why this is the answer should be Russian soldiers, because the passage is about the use of symbol for military purpose. Author is saying it is not common for it is not uncommon for military to use it, but for the common people to use it is bit uncommon. So the purpose of this should be with related to Russian soldiers. And anyways, I mean, saying that people are abandoning its own government. Government is chosen by the people. So they will try to garner support by saying this for soldiers. So answer should be soldiers here. Next, which of the following correctly represent author's view on the use of letter Z as a nationalist symbol? So this is given in the last part of it. Author has said that this is quite odd. Why has the author called it as odd? Because for a nationalist symbol, author is saying they are using it as a nationalist symbol, and then author is saying that it is odd that they have borrowed it from some other country, right? So it is done in a bad taste. Definitely, author is not saying that it is done in a bad taste. There was some bad intention behind it. It is ironical. Yes, this is what author is trying to say. It is ironical that they have borrowed a nationalist symbol from Latin alphabet rather than using something of their own. It is not surprising. Author is saying oddly, so it is not surprising, can definitely not be the answer. It is a blunder. Is out of scope. Author is not saying anything like mistake or something. Author is calling it as odd, so answer should be B. Fourth, as per the author, which of the following could be the possible reason for Russia choosing letter Z as a symbol? All right, so what is author saying? It means victory of Russia. So what could be the reason for Russia to use it? Has author given his view? Author has not given his view. All the views are of some other stakeholders. For example, it means victory for Russia. This is given by the Russian defense minister. Then it means beast or animal, here referring to Russians. This is again given by someone else. It has close resemblance to Nazi swastika. This is being told by critics. But what is author's opinion? Author has not given his opinion at all. So answer is nothing can be inferred about author's opinion or possible reason according to him for using letter Z. Which of the following is an assumption made in the argument of the last paragraph? So what is the argument in the last paragraph? The argument in the last paragraph is that using Z as a symbol by Russia is odd, as a national symbol is odd, because they have borrowed it from Latin. So one the author is saying that using it because it is borrowed, it is odd. And then the argument is about what is its meaning. After a week of speculation, what it meant, then people started to give it meaning. So that means people speculated about the meaning. So let us see. A national symbol should have some meaning. Let me negate it. A national symbol does not have any meaning, may not have any meaning, whatever you want to put it. Now, if it may not have any meaning, then this entire talk about what is its meaning goes irrelevant. And hence, this is a valid assumption. It needs to have meaning. Otherwise, if there is no meaning, then why will there be so much talk about what does it mean? So it itself suggests that the assumption is that it needs to have some meaning. Second, it is unlikely to borrow a national symbol from some other culture or nation. That's what the author's argument or opinion about it is built upon this assumption only, that it is odd because they have borrowed. So if it is not unlikely, then the author's stance on it will fall flat. So answer is both 1 and 2. So that is it for the passage number 2. I hope you got all 5 right. And if you have not got all 5 right, then you must have at least understood what mistakes you have committed. Thank you.